Some of the football that we're playing at the moment is about as close to a work of art than I could possibly imagine.
Don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. I won't wait for you, 'cause you keep telling lies. I keep going high, she keep going low. At the end of the day, she's gone. But you don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. And you keep telling lies.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outcasts 2 Icons. If you've been enjoying the series, of course, drop a like. That'd be tremendous. Today we have our first foray into the Champions League this season in one of the stranger groups I've definitely seen, with Marseille, Southampton and Real Sociedad. But I found out something about Southampton over the last couple of games when I noticed something, and I think that could make them somewhat less of a factor in this group than we may have been expecting. Now, there have actually been a couple of outs, as I sort of expected there would be, but perhaps not the ones you would have expected. Cesare has now actually left. £10.5 million with some other stuff rising to go to Villarreal. He wanted out. We, by proxy, then wanted out as well. We could have got 14 million earlier, but he turned the contract down. But at least he went to Villarreal. So we're going to get a decent whack of change from that and some wages off the bill. Not that I was super bothered about the wages, really. But hey, extra money's always good. Mulai, the young North Macedonian defensive midfielder, has gone on loan to Auxerre for the season, just to get him some first-team football, really. That's my main concern with someone like him. And in addition to that, Augusto Rivas, our really young Argentinian left-sided player, I just felt like he wasn't going to get enough first-team opportunities this season, but I really do think he's going to be great in the future. So he's gone on loan to Brescia for the season. Now, I've arranged for him to actually be like a proper starting player for Brescia, hopefully. And so far, I believe he's already scored a goal for them and maybe got an assist as well in like 2 games at the club. So he's done a really good job off the mark there, playing first-team football in Serie A. And I think if he flourishes there and has a really good season, I think that could massively help his progress. And I think next season then, it would save the need to have Candido on loan, and then we could have Troy Gregory and then Augusto Rivas as a really competent left-sided player, having had a great season under his belt in the top flight, particularly in the same country as well. So now, a quick word on what I was talking about with Southampton. And that is that Samir Barthez, the player that I showed you at either in the analysis video or at the very end of the last video, their like star striker, banged in nearly 100 Premier League goals for them in 5 years, has left to go to Manchester City for £100 million, I grant you. But the fact is, Saints have lost probably he was the top scorer in the Premier League last season, and Southampton have now lost him. And I think he has to be part of the reason why they were so good in the last few years and able to do the things they've done. So losing their best player, and from what I can tell, they've only spent 40 million this summer and don't seem to have really replaced him very much. And they've also sold another £70 million worth of players. In the previous year, they'd sold £200 million worth, including Barthez, who for some reason counts in the previous year's accounts, because I guess, I don't know, mark to market. Are Southampton Enron? Is that what it is? Hassan Hüttel's been removed and Ken Lay is here. But Southampton, they're a problem for later. Today, we focus on Marseille. Our under-19 side beat Marseille's under-19 side 3-0. So we're looking good for potentially another run at the UEFA. Why do I keep saying Europa? UEFA Youth League, Matt. Get it in your head. We've also found out that our new Polish signing, Niewiadomski, is an avid dirt bike rider. I must admit, when I found out, I was a little bit perturbed by that, because a dirt bike that's the jet ski of the land, and I'm a bit concerned that should he even get one eye on the coast, we could have all sorts of hip injury problems. But for now, he's been kept away from the sea. In addition to that, he also got his first Poland call-up and first cap. I mentioned the call-up, he got his first cap for Poland, and Troy Gregory got his first England cap as well. Hey, Sassuolo, we're an international maker. It's what we do. Now, I don't know how things are actually going for Marseille. We will have a little look in a second. Now, smaller bench is definitely a factor that we're going to have to pay attention to. Now, obviously, we've had some games off camera, which I'll show you guys in the in-between part, but I'm pretty pleased with the way things are going so far for us. Everybody's kind of got their match fitness up. Everyone looks ready to go. You'll obviously see some players have scored some goals. We'll talk about that because there is some players that I very much need to highlight. I want to give some more game time to certain people as well in there too, but that time will come, believe me, because we've got an incredibly packed fixture-congested schedule coming up. I want Glavash on the bench as well. So we'll go with Glavash, Niewiadomski, Eklu, Siggy Johnson, El Yassidi, Quarto, and Overmars. That is a really stacked-ass bench. Good God. Some might call this a defensive system. It's just the 7 defenders. There's a defensive midfield. Whoa! I mean, hey, they've come up for one thing. Oh, they're also missing I scouted this guy in the summer. He's really good and they're missing him as well. Right then, at home against Marseille in the Champions League. Niewiadomski and Eklu have seen some bench appearances in the games off camera, and both of them have looked very, very good. Like genuinely excellent players that I'm really excited about this season. Eklu really does give us something interesting. It's going to be very tough for us to break down a team that plays like this, but we kind of already have a strategy in place for me that will allow us to do that, rather than having to switch to something. I think this might have to just be like one of those games where if we can just grab a 1-0 or something because it's so tight. As Gregory with a shot, and it's well cleared. Dinko Pavlich sitting out wide. He could find a ball in. Oh, yes, he does find it. And it's well saved by Ray. He's offside anyway, but good play. We just kind of just settle down, play our game, and just create one chance that's good enough to score. And I'll just be happy with a 1-0 against a team like this that play this style, because it is always tough to break them down, as Magnus Nissen's header is well saved. Nice breakaway. Players just sort of ambling forward, not making... I mean, look at the number of players Marseille have back. Just so... Counter-attacking these guys is going to be virtually impossible. Nissen's ball through. Gregory! Good block. That's a bit more space now. Granados. Lancer, can he turn and shoot? Oh, he does, but it's poor. A rare poor one from him. But we do have a history of growing into games, and we do seem to be a second-half team sometimes, and this might be one of those chances for us to just take the game to them a bit more in this second period, get a little bit more ruthless, a bit more aggressive with them, and try to find that way through. Milivojev, out wide for Bruno. He's going to be super important in this game, I think, providing those overlaps for us, winning corners, doing all that sort of good stuff. Milivojev, tiny bit more space is opening up now, just little gaps emerging, for we can just play that ball a bit faster. They're no longer marking as tight as they were before, or we're just losing them. Granados! It's an effort. All it would take is one goal. We've just made a little few changes to try and shuffle this team around a little bit. Niewiadomski's on the pitch. It's a big effort from him from range. He should get this back, and he does. I've actually shuffled Pavlich across into Mezzala just to freshen things up and give Niewiadomski a chance. Eklu's also on. Niewiadomski. Pavlich, nice pass out for Bruno. Back for Gregory. Could shoot. He does shoot, but it's just wide. To credit to Marseille, their strategy today has worked to a T so far. Michal Chea. Niewiadomski, he could go for a long shot here maybe, but he's going to be more patient than that, you'd sense. Yep, pops it back out for Michal Chea. Just so many bodies in there. Pavlich. Niewiadomski again with room. Pavlich, nice. Good footwork. It's come through for Nissen! Big save from Ray. That was a chance. Probably the chance. We just need to get some balls in the box now, I think. Pavlich. Whips it through, cleared away. Back for Niewiadomski. Glavash pulls it across, and Gregory's at the back post. Troy Gregory. Sassuolo 1, Marseille 0 in the 88th minute. It took all game, but the Englishman, he's got his first England cap, and now he's got his first Sassuolo goal with a gorgeous little assist from Josip Glavash. I just hit early crosses towards the end, just trying to get balls in the box that were dangerous. And Niewiadomski does well to knock this down, but the first time, oh no, not even first time. Look at that for a ball from Josip Glavash. It's Sassuolo 1, Marseille 0, and God, we've needed that. 94th minute now. Just, oh, you dare. You dare. Oh my God. Their first shot was the 95th minute, and it damn near crept in. Milosevic has just saved us the win, probably, with that. Cleared away, and that will surely do it now, as Glavash is going to bring it clear for us anyway, so no matter what, we're going to be home and dry now, you'd feel. Unless he could square it, maybe. He's got pass options on. Go on, Josip. Square it, bud. Please. Oh, okay. Bit wasteful there from Josip Glavash. Probably could have let us go on there, ref, but hey, it doesn't matter. 1-0 Sassuolo. They did have a shot in the end. I think we deserved the win, but it certainly, we made it hard for ourselves, but it was nice to see Troy Gregory score his first goal for the club. Really nice positioning to get into the right spot, and we do get the win over Marseille. They made us work hard, but with a system like that, it was always going to be a tough afternoon. But we got the win. That's the most important thing. Right, couple of games off camera. Back for Southampton next. That's going to be interesting, because they drew 0-0 with Real Sociedad. Some of the football that we're playing at the moment is about as close to a work of art than I could possibly imagine. Take some of the goals and just hang them in the Louvre. They would not look out of place at all. So just sit back and enjoy these off-camera games, to be honest. So at first, we were at home against Sampdoria. 23 minutes in, a lovely cross in there. Lancer at the back post, 1-0. He has been ridiculous over this period, even by his own standards. Then in the 40th minute, Milivojev drops a lovely ball. Lancer pops it around the side. Great first touch from Nissan. Slots it home to make it 2-0. Exactly what we needed at that point, but we still had a little bit more as we won a penalty directly after half-time. Yeah, it was after half-time, and Granados dispatched it. Lovely. And then they got a red card, which didn't exactly make things any easier for them, as Komi Eklu gets the ball here, drops it for Jan Bruno, who delivers an absolute gorgeous finish into the top corner for 4-0. But Jan wasn't done. When he scores, he's like buses. They always come along two at a time. Michal Chea out to the left-hand side. Bruno gets it back, slots it in the bottom corner. 5-0 Samp. Just perfection. Just absolute perfection. A brace for Jan Bruder in 3 minutes. I think he also got an assist in this game as well. He was just ridiculous. Lancer continues his phenomenal, and he's only going to get better. Just insane performance. Really, really good. And Matthew Glasgow, interestingly, is a left back that I was actually looking at originally from Brighton, but he doesn't seem to have developed the way I was hoping he might do, and we'd be able to pick him up. So I'm kind of glad. I think we made the right decision, as he was the man that was red carded as well, I think. Next up, we went away to Inter Milan, who'd had a bit of a poor start to the season. And after just 18 minutes here, Mihilcher getting the ball out on the right, whips it through. Lancer's first shot, cannons back off the post. 1-0 after 18 minutes. But this time there was a bit of a sting in the tail here, as Erdegaard, 37-year-old, ball in, Sulik at the back post, grabs an equaliser for Inter in the 77th minute. But then, 94th minute, Eklu again here with some nice work, finds Jan Brunner, lovely ball across, Candido slides it in, 2-1 to Sassuolo. And I think it was a pretty fair result in the end. We were much the better side, but we had a little bit of a scare there, and it definitely wasn't our finest performance. But once again, Bruno was fantastic. Lancer, despite scoring a goal, didn't have the best game, but he scored in all 3 league games so far. What a legend. But then, fresh off our lovely victory over Marseille in the Champions League, we came into the league at home against Torino. Bruno's ball in, Candido's header off the bar, Lancer slides it in. 4 in 4 league games for him. Brilliant work from the lad. However, though, 25 minutes into the game, Page getting the ball here. You know how these things tend to go, but it actually didn't go this way. Instead, there was a bit of a melee here, as Roger Henrique, great finish from him, equalises for Torino, who've had a very poor start to the season. Luckily, though, in the 40th minute, we were able to get back into the goal-scoring form. Niewiadomski started this game. I'm really trying to rotate around. Nissen with a gorgeous daisy cutter into the bottom corner for 2-1. However, though, less than 40 seconds after the start of the second half, Glavash got himself sent off for a 2-footed lunge. Didn't really matter that much, though, as Candido comes through in the 60th minute to make it 3-1 to Sassuolo with 10 men. And literally less than a minute later, like 40 seconds later, Candido gets the ball again, picks it up for Nissen, slots it through for Lancer, and Lancer makes it 5 goals in 5 league games. What an absolute god. And it was 4-1 with 10 men. But we still had more. 87th minute, the 10 men just kept on going. Jan Brunner does his thing, pops it through for Siggy Jonsson, and it was 5-1 with 10 men. Just an absolute destruction of Torino. With 3 of those goals were scored with 10 men. Literally, we saw the kickoff, the ball goes out to the left-hand side, and Glavash is like, I'm going to end this man's whole career. And he just 2-foots him for no reason. So that was kind of silly of him, but we got better after that, incredibly. Then it was away at 9th place Cagliari, and the good times just kept on rolling. Bruno here with the ball out wide, gets it back from Gregory, pops it through. Milivojev, slumptuous finish into the bottom corner after 15 minutes to make it 1-0 to the Sassy Boys. Then Granados with a gorgeous corner in, and there was, well, who else but Lancer on the end. Yet another goal for him. 6 in 6 league games, I think it was. It might have even been more than that. I don't honestly know. Ball around the side there from Bruno. Gregory gets it. Keeper comes out for no reason, and Nissen heads it home for 3-0 to Sassuolo. No clue what the goalkeeper was doing on that one. And then literally seconds later, in the 64th minute, Nissen gets the ball out on the left-hand side here. Gets it back again. Great ball through. Lancer on the end of it. Slots it home again for 4-0 to Sassuolo. And it's just, I mean, they had 2 shots in the entire game. We were fantastic in this game again. We don't look like... Honestly, I made a lot of changes after our 4th goal to freshen things up and just keep players rotating around. We did nothing after that, but that was fine. We just killed the game. Last up, we were at home against Pordenone. We won a penalty in 22 seconds, which Glavash dispatched in the first minute. Then, in the 61st minute, with a very rotated side again, it's nice being able to do that. Eklu with a great ball through for Siggy Jonsson. Drills it home to make it 2-0 Sassuolo. Not our finest performance, but a pretty comfortable one on the night. You can see that a lot of rotation happened in this match. Niewiadomski and Eklu both started in this one. Siggy Jonsson also started in there too. We had various other players come off the bench in this one, I believe. Quarto came on. Lebert came on. But all that leaves us top of the league, 6 wins out of 6, 18 points, and a plus 18 goal difference. We're doing all the things this season that we couldn't seem to get quite right last year. We started off very strongly last year, but it wasn't as emphatic, the results. Now, fair play, we've played Torino, Pordenone, Inter, who have struggled and only have 1 win on the board so far. But we also beat Samp 5-0, and they're mid-table. Cagliari, we beat them 5-1. Was it 5-1? It was a lot of goals. 4-0, rather. It's kind of nuts, some of the results we got. Not only that, look, Brescia, with the impact of Augusto Rivas, who has already been scoring and assisting for them, are up into 2nd in the league with 5 wins. I think that was the perfect loan move for him. Point is, though, Lancer has 7 goals in 6 matches and has scored a goal in every single league game so far. Bruno already has 4 goals and 2 assists. He's only 2 assists away from his tally of last season. He is having a breakout year. Those 2 are just running the show, and everyone else is just chipping in. It's absolutely spectacular. It's not like we're even scoring much from set pieces. I think we have 1 set piece goal out of the 20 that we've scored so far. It's phenomenal. And it's just an absolute joy to watch us play at the moment. I think we've got to be the favourites for the league title if we carry on playing like this. And one of the key things is we are able to win now matches with quite a lot of rotation put in. I can rest Pavlich out before Champions League games completely and bring in Niewiadomski and feel completely satisfied that he's going to do an apt job in that role. And the same with other players. I can bring Eklu in and he does a great job in that midfield role. There's so many options for us now that just gives us a real good chance of having a greatly fresh side. Overmars has picked up several little tiny injuries that as every time I would have wanted to use him, he's been out for it, which is frustrating, but hopefully he will see some game time soon because I would have rotated Nissan out for him if I had the chance, but sadly the option wasn't quite there for us. We go away to Southampton. Big game for us here. I feel like, I mean, obviously the Marseille game was a tough one, but I think that we can get the better of Marseille in both games. We've already beaten them once, but it's these other two games. How Southampton are going to be without their main striker. How are they doing in the league now? So they're 6th in the Premier League at the moment. So they are still well and truly in there, but perhaps not quite up to the level they were before. Liverpool looking like they run away with it. By the way, Wolves up in 4th. Huge switches coming up here, but that's the beauty of it. Being able to make those changes. We're not going to play Overmars through the middle, particularly not like that. So Nissan, no way he's not starting this one. Where is he? So Gregory, Granados, Lancer, Pavlich, Milivojev, Bruno, Uriarte, Believ, Mihilchea, and Milosevic. We had a £33 million bid for Mihilchea. I don't think I mentioned it earlier in, like basically at the very start, end of the window. Mad bid from West Ham, but he wasn't interested. It was great. Glavash to the bench, I think. And that will probably... I've even been giving Dino Sadovic some appearances off the bench because we can. When we've been like 4 or 5-0 up in the game, just bring him on, get him some first team experience. It's incredible. There's just goals throughout this team right now. It's fantastic to see. I'm extremely excited. I think we've built an incredible side. And it's not even taken us that long. I'm surprised at how quickly we've managed to do it. I think we need to try and win some kind of silverware this season. In order for me to call this season a success, some kind of silverware, whether it be the Italian Cup, the League... Champions League seems a bit unlikely, although if we were to stumble into 3rd, you never know. Europa League could be fun. I suppose the downside to the Europa League is it would imply that we'd miss out on a serious amount of money, and that could be a bit of a downside for us there. But it would give us a chance to potentially win something. God, look at that form. It's so good. Want to keep an eye on the other game as well. See how Marseille get on against Real Sociedad, because no doubt they'll be playing a similar style, so you'd expect that one to be a pretty tight affair. But if Real Sociedad were to go out there and absolutely hammer them, I'd be concerned. Well, Paris Aguirre has already given Real Sociedad the lead in that game, so that is interesting. They've been able to break through Marseille so very quickly, and round the side, and it's a great tackle there to put that one out from Uriarte. Okay, interesting. Ah, right, okay. Nobody really challenged that properly. We've got men flying back, though, but we've got to make sure that someone gets a tackle in, and don't let him get into the box. That's outside the box, that's fine. Silly from Troy Gregory, but it is outside the box. Southampton goalkeeper is absolutely livid. Because, you know, he would have had the best view of that from 50 freaking yards away. Him and Troy Gregory are having a full-on Barney. They look like twins. No penalty. Get back in your goal, you bellend. Driving inside, Nissan needs to make a run for him, really. Good ball. He's opened up a lot of space for Jan Bruno, though. He's got time to find the cross. Finds Gregory! Oh, it's a good tackle on him. He's still got it. Blocked again and again and again and again and again. Did Gregory have about 6 shots there? I mean, at that point, is he just assaulting the defender with a football? Maynard looking long, and I have no idea where our right back had disappeared to. That was bizarre. He just did not get back. Don't foul him, though. Just keep the sensible stuff. Ball in, and it's well saved by Milosevic. Wait, can he make a run? There he goes. Gregory's in behind. It's a tough angle for him. If he can finish it. Oh, he's hit the post. Really good effort from him, but it was so near to being perfect there from Troy Gregory. Couldn't quite guide that in, but he's had an okay first half. He's certainly been at the centre of a lot of things that have happened. We're okay right now. Milosevic pinging one out to Gregory. That's nice work, actually. Nissan. Oh, we got loads of runners. Great ball from Granados. And we've got about 4 or 5 players surging forward. One of whom is Gregory. It's a good save again from Maynard. Back for Gregory. Oh, spaces now. Simpson through the side for Magnus Nissan. One touch and... Oh, Magnus. Lovely pass, but oh, Magnus, maybe just be a little bit less fancy. Nissan around the side now for Lancer. And it's a good save from Maynard. Chooses to throw, and that's a very good throw. And Nissan's on the run here. Oh, lovely ball. It's Lancer's through again. Can he finish this time? No, well blocked. Alioso, he's got through. Milosevic is 1-on-1 now. It's a tight angle, and the block is not forthcoming, but he's forced the defender. Just forced a terrible shot. Well, it's looking like it's going to be a 0-0 here. We've had a few little opportunities. I think we've shown that we're a pretty good side in this one. I'll definitely take not losing. Keeping the clean sheet. We still haven't conceded in the Champions League. I think definitely we probably on another day do win this one, but the defenders did a great job again. Just could not quite get things going from a forward perspective. Had a few little opportunities which were spurned. Just not our day, unfortunately. But at the very least, we do stop Southampton from taking the victory too, and they don't look all that good to the point where I feel like in the home game, we should definitely be able to get the better of them, and that's pleasing. As at the very least, currently, we're on 4 points from our 2 games, and I'd have taken that, I suppose. It's going to be a very difficult group. Those Real Sociedad matches feel like they're going to be the key to this group. They've got a player that I really wanted for years, but he's asked to leave, and I don't know if he actually got his move. Actually, the first game that we've not won this season, so that's a start, I suppose. So obviously, next episode it's going to be doubleheader Real Sociedad. But look at the games we've got in here. Spal, Frosinone, Fiorentina, and Benevento are our 4 league games in the next. We could genuinely start with 10 consecutive wins if we keep playing the way we are in the league at the moment, even with the rotation. It's going to get harder, obviously, but still, what a start we could potentially have. But the next 2 games are going to be absolutely crucial as far as what we do in Europe. So if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like. That would be superb. If you're new to the channel, subscribe too. That would be gorgeous. I stream on Twitch. Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Don't know why I lost track of that. It's the same every week, Matt. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Champions League action. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.